At 2:47 a.m., Diana shot awake to the sharp vibration of her phone, the screen lighting the dark room as her heart pounded, because nobody texted at this hour except family. And when she swiped it open, her stomach dropped at the message from her younger sister, Lily. "Please help me. Don't tell Mom." Just 8 words, but every one of them felt like a punch, because Lily never texted like that, never asked for help, never hid anything from their mom, unless something was seriously wrong. And when Diana immediately called back, the phone went straight to voicemail, not even a single ring, which was incorrect, terrifyingly wrong, because Lily never turned her phone off, not even when she was angry or upset. Diana jumped out of bed, grabbed her hoodie, and ran downstairs, dialing Lily over and over, pacing the kitchen floor with shaking hands, replaying every recent conversation in her mind, trying to remember if Lily had mentioned a party, a ride, a new friend, anything. Still, she came up empty. And the silence on the other end felt like a vacuum, sucking her chest tighter. She opened the family tracking app out of pure instinct, something their mom had installed years ago but rarely used. And the small circle that represented Lily blinked at a location Diana didn't recognize. An industrial area on the edge of the city, full of old warehouses and repair shops that were shut down after midnight. Her throat tightened as she grabbed her keys, walked out into the cold night air, and sped off with the kind of urgency that makes every red light feel like an enemy, her thoughts spiraling as she whispered, "Lily, what did you get yourself into?" The roads were empty, eerily quiet, the kind of stillness that made the world feel abandoned. And by the time she reached the location, her palms were so sweaty she almost dropped her phone. The warehouse district was worse than she expected. Rows of dark buildings, broken fences, flickering streetlights, and a silence that felt staged, like the whole area was holding its breath. She parked near a loading dock, stepped out, and instantly spotted something that made her blood turn cold. A small blue denim jacket hanging on the side mirror of a car 2 spaces away. The same coat Lily wore almost every day, the one she refused to replace even though the sleeves were frayed. Diana walked toward it slowly, nearly afraid to blink, every step heavier than the last. And when she reached the car, her knees weakened, because the driver's door was slightly open, the interior light glowing faintly, and Lily's keychain, a tiny silver star, was lying on the seat like someone had dropped it in a hurry. The warehouse door next to the car was cracked open, a sliver of darkness waiting behind it. And in that moment, Diana understood something she wished she hadn't. Lily didn't just disappear. She was in trouble. Real trouble. And whatever had happened here didn't feel like an accident or a coincidence. It felt intentional, targeted. Diana took a deep breath, pushed the door wider, and stepped inside, telling herself she wasn't leaving without her sister, no matter what she had to face. Hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Things are about to get even darker. Diana stepped deeper into the warehouse, her flashlight shaking as its beam cut through the dust-filled air, revealing abandoned pallets, torn plastic wrap, and the kind of silence that felt staged, like the whole place was waiting for her. And she kept replaying the image of Lily's jacket and keychain, because nothing about this looked like a simple case of someone wandering off. It looked like someone had taken her, or at least scared her enough to run. And the one thing Diana knew about her sister was that Lily didn't scare easily. She followed the scuff marks on the concrete floor, 2 sets of footprints, one Lily's light sneakers, the other larger and heavier, and her chest tightened with every step, the warehouse echoing with the sound of her own breath as she pushed deeper, until she saw a faint glow coming from a small office in the far corner. She approached carefully, heart pounding so hard she could hear it in her ears. And when she pushed the door open, she found an old computer humming, the monitor on, displaying frozen security footage of a gas station from earlier that night, the timestamp reading 1:56 a.m. Diana leaned closer, pressing her hand to her mouth as she saw Lily on the screen, alive, nervous, pacing. Then a car pulled up beside her. Lily got in without hesitation, as if she knew the driver and trusted them. The camera angle shifted just enough for Diana to see half a face she recognized instantly, a face she wished she didn't. Ethan, Lily's ex-boyfriend, the manipulative one, the one Lily had broken up with for controlling her, the one Diana had warned her about. Rage and dread surged through her at the same time. Ethan had been texting Lily nonstop a month ago, begging her to come back, apologizing, promising he had changed. And now Lily was in his car in the middle of the night. Why? Diana grabbed the computer mouse and scrubbed through more footage, but the video cut off suddenly when someone manually stopped the recording. She cursed under her breath, backed out of the office, and pulled up Ethan's social media, scrolling fast, scanning for clues, and then she saw his latest post from 2 hours earlier. Him at work, a selfie with the caption, "Night shift again." And Diana felt her pulse spike because Ethan's night job was at Lock Ridge Storage Unit, 10 minutes from here, an isolated 24-hour facility on the outskirts of the city. It was the perfect place to hide someone, the perfect place to corner someone, the perfect place to make someone disappear. Diana ran back to her car, started the engine with shaking hands, and sped toward the storage facility, adrenaline sharpening her focus as her mind raced through worst-case scenarios while the GPS counted down the minutes. "Come on, Lily, just hold on," she whispered, as she turned into the long, dimly lit drive of Lock Ridge Storage, passing rows of metal units that looked identical, endless, claustrophobic. She parked near the main office, her headlights reflecting off the fogged windows, and as she approached the door, she noticed the lock was broken, hanging by a single screw, as if someone had forced their way in. Inside, the lights were on, humming faintly, and the front desk looked ransacked. Paper scattered, a coffee cup spilled, and on the floor, partially hidden under a chair, was something that made Diana's breath freeze in her throat. Lily's phone. Screen cracked, still warm to the touch, as if it had been dropped minutes ago. This wasn't just a missing person situation anymore. Someone was here. Someone had Lily. And Diana wasn't leaving until she found her. Hit like, subscribe, and keep watching, because the truth is about to flip everything upside down. Diana didn't even remember the drive back into town. She only realized she'd arrived when her headlights swept across the abandoned high school building, Lily's last pinned location. Its broken windows staring down like hollow eyes, the wind pushing loose papers across the parking lot. She parked but kept the engine running, gripping the steering wheel so hard her fingers ached, trying to gather the courage she didn't feel, because this place wasn't just any building. It was the school their mother used to teach at before she vanished, the place she always told them never to go back to, the place Lily had been desperately trying to investigate on her own for weeks without telling anyone. Diana stepped out, phone in hand, replaying Lily's last words from the audio note. "I found something. She lied to us. If you don't hear from me," followed by a crash and a muffled scream that made Diana's skin tighten. Inside, the hallway smelled like dust, mold, and something metallic that she didn't want to identify. Every step echoing too loudly, every shadow moving too easily. She followed Lily's digital breadcrumbs through the old science wing, where equipment still sat untouched, as if someone walked away mid-lesson 20 years ago. And then down the staircase into the basement, exactly where their mother used to take her students for special lessons, the ones no one ever talked about afterward. Diana's flashlight flickered across a wall of pinned photos, students, teachers, and in the center, a faded picture she instantly recognized. Lily, age 10, with the handwritten note beneath it saying, "Successful candidate," in their mother's handwriting. Her breath seized as she realized Lily hadn't been researching the school. She'd been researching herself, trying to find out why she kept losing time, why she'd wake up in places she didn't remember walking to, why she felt watched for months. Diana's phone buzzed suddenly, violently, making her jump. When she looked, she froze. The call wasn't from Lily's number. It was from unknown. But the voice, when she picked up, was unmistakably her mother's, calm and horribly familiar. "Put the keys down and come downstairs, sweetheart. You're late." Diana's body went cold. Her mother had been dead for 15 years. She followed the voice anyway because love and fear sometimes sound the same, descending deeper into the basement until she reached a metal door cracked open just enough to glow with a sickly white light. Inside, she found a makeshift laboratory, monitors filled with brain scans, and in the center, a glass containment room where Lily sat, strapped to a chair, conscious, terrified, shaking her head violently as if begging Diana not to come closer. On the speaker above her, their mother's voice said, "She's almost ready, but you were always the perfect one, Diana. I only needed you to come home." Diana lunged toward the controls, but the door behind her slammed shut, locking her inside as Lily screamed her name. Diana realized too late, with horrifying clarity, that she wasn't here to rescue Lily. She was here because their mother had been waiting for both of them to return and finish whatever she started the night she disappeared. And now, Diana wasn't sure she'd ever get either of them out alive. Diana didn't waste a second. She sprinted to the control panel, fingers shaking as she slammed every switch she could reach, desperate to shut down whatever machine was linked to Lily. Still, every button she hit only made the monitors surge with brighter, sharper brain scans of both her and her sister. Two identical neural patterns flickering in sync, like someone had layered their minds on top of each other. Lily's muffled scream sharpened into words. "Don't touch anything, Di. It makes it worse." But Diana couldn't stop. She was running on panic and instinct, trying to break the system, trying to break whatever grip their dead mother had on the room. Then the overhead speaker crackled, and the voice returned, calm in a way that made Diana's stomach twist. "You always rush, just like me." Diana slammed her fist into the emergency stop. For one disorienting moment, everything went still. The white lights dimmed, the hum dropped, and Lily sagged forward with exhausted relief. Until a secondary generator kicked in, the room turning red as a new set of doors opened on the far side of the lab, revealing a hidden chamber lined with recording equipment, files, and dozens of VHS tapes labeled with dates stretching back decades, including one titled Diana, Original. Diana swallowed hard, backing away as the speaker continued. "You were supposed to see this when you turned 18, but I suppose now is as good a time as any." Against her will, the monitors lit up, playing a video from the tape. Their mother, younger, alive, sitting at a desk in the same lab, smiling into the camera in that soft, unsettling way Diana remembered from childhood. "If you're watching this," her mother said, "you've begun reverting. The memory cracks, the nightmares, the déjà vu, that's your mind pulling up what we suppressed." Diana felt dizzy, grabbing the wall before she collapsed as her mother continued. "You were my second attempt. Lily was my first, but I perfected the method with you." Lily screamed at the monitor, "Don't listen! She's lying!" But Diana could feel something cracking open inside her, like a door she didn't remember closing. Then the video mother leaned closer. "Diana, sweetheart, you were never supposed to find her. You were supposed to replace her." The screen cut to black. The room plunged into silence except for Lily's sobs, ragged and terrified. Diana forced herself to breathe, forced herself to keep her voice steady as she said, "I'm getting you out, both of us, tonight." She stepped toward the containment chamber, looking for manual release bolts. But the second she touched the glass, alarms erupted, the lights flashed violently, and the entire room locked down. A synthesized voice announced, "Transfer protocol initiated. Subject, Diana." Lily thrashed in the chair, screaming her name over and over, while Diana backed into the center of the room as scanners descended from the ceiling, locking onto her skull with laser-precise beams. She realized with chilling clarity that the process wasn't meant to kill her. It was meant to overwrite her. Her mother hadn't abandoned them the night she vanished. She had moved her consciousness into the system, waiting years for the day she could return using Diana's body. And now, unless Diana found a way to destroy the lab from the inside, her mother was coming back. Hit the like, share, and subscribe for the finale. The scanners tightened their focus on Diana's skull, heating the air around her, while Lily's panicked screams ricocheted through the lab. And in that moment, Diana realized exactly why their mother had chosen her. Because Diana was the stronger one, the one who could survive the transfer long enough for their mother's consciousness to settle into a living host. But strength worked both ways, and Diana wasn't about to become a vessel for a ghost with a god complex. She scanned the room, searching for anything that could break the process, and her eyes landed on the row of VHS tapes in the open chamber. The entire library of their mother's research, her experiments, the proof she needed to rebuild herself. If Diana destroyed them, she wouldn't just ruin the transfer. She'd erase the blueprint that made it possible. The scanners buzzed louder, beginning to map her neural pathways, and the voice from the speakers cooed softly. "Don't fight me, sweetheart. You were designed for this." Diana grabbed one of the metal chairs, sprinted to the tape shelf, and smashed the first row, plastic shattering across the floor. Instantly, the lights flickered, and the scanners faltered, confused by missing data. Their mother's voice snapped from gentle to furious. "Stop that, Diana!" But Diana was already swinging again, breaking tape after tape until the system surged and the red alarms blared. Lily gasped. It's working. Keep going." But the floor suddenly vibrated as the chamber that held Lily began to retract, sliding backward toward a sealed wall as if preparing to absorb her into the machine. Diana dropped the chair and sprinted, throwing herself against the moving platform, trying to slow it with her weight. But the mechanical track overpowered her. Lily reached a trembling hand toward her, eyes wild with terror, and shouted, "Don't let her take me again." Diana turned, spotting one final lever near the back, labeled Manual Override, Danger, Power Dump. And she didn't hesitate. She slammed the lever down with both hands. Every light in the room burst white. The lab roared like a collapsing engine, and a violent wave of electricity shot through the metal rails, causing the machinery to jerk, stutter, then grind to a dead stop. Sparks rained from the ceiling as the speakers crackled with their mother's final, distorted scream, "You don't know what you've done. You need me. You are nothing without." Then silence. Total, heavy, absolute silence. Smoke drifted from the ruined monitors as Diana pulled Lily into her arms, both shaking, both barely alive, but undeniably free. They stumbled through the emergency exit as the lab shut down permanently, the desert night cold and impossibly quiet after what they survived. Outside, Lily whispered, "What happens now?" And Diana squeezed her tighter, answering, "Now, we go home. We build our own life, without her." They walked toward the distant highway lights, two sisters who had finally broken the cycle their mother started, and for the first time in years, Diana felt like she owned her own mind, her own identity. Their mother was gone, the experiment ended, and whatever future came next would belong to them alone. If you want the whole series with more twists, make sure to like and subscribe.